Hit them. I done seen people that talk about God, but love is an action they don't want to do. It's easy to preach about love when you never consider commandments that apply to you. Why do we look at the heathen and think that Yahweh shall mercy a part of them too? Listen, the judgment is written for all of the heathen. Don't jump in and leave out the blue. I done seen criminals guilty of killing a whole bunch of people. They plead in the case. Just cause they saying how sorry they are, don't mean that their crime can just be erased. We gotta start treating nations the way that they treated our people when we was in chains. So they gotta do the same labor we did. The tables gonna turn, they'll do it in flames. Skillet be popping, grease be popping. Be not deceived, my music get bustin'. I ain't gotta talk about drugs or women or money, just listen, I ain't even cussing. I just figured that our people need more than the highest some judges to think that they stunting. I just be whipping these bars off the top of my head, the stove, I ain't even stuffing. Ain't even thinking of what I could do if I came in the Jew back when I was a child. Nation be cleaving the heathen, be thinking they really got something, they jocking our style. Fact that we still in captivity, thinking we thrive from pride right now is wild. I give all praise to Yahweh, I came on the scene, no sin, no pride, no gal. Easy to think about heavenly gifts when you sit around thinking you won't have no trials. The Lord say you must go through fire refined and brought out alive, but you think it's foul. It's clear that your Bible collecting the dust that sit on your dresser, not using the wow. Compared to your flesh, you and your Bible is covered in dirt and dust of the ground. We get around, crying aloud, bringing it out, pinning you down, hitting the scripture, quick as a trickster. Windows Vista, we killing it, mister. I ain't got hate in my heart for art. I love all my people that strive for the truth. Easy to vouch for the righteous, my people, the salt of the earth, and they bringing the juice. If you can't repent for your sin, then you never gonna win. And I'm out and I'm checking the deuce. Trying to conceal the knowledge about who we are, but the prophets be up on the roof. I had to pause for a round of applause cause that's what you can do. Not for the bars, but all of the laws that's given to you. Talking true potential, I've been out the window waving the flag of the Most High in Christ. You've been steady pushing, you ain't even looking. You too busy out here dabbing and strife. Wait till you step to the plate and you check out the sword of the spirit, but you got a knife. Piercing the doctrine and guts in the blood of these pastors. Now trust me, you're risking your life. Hold up, I done gave y'all too much of this. The flaming sword gotta wait, build up to this. The flames here too hot, apocalypse. If you think this whack, boy, shut your lips. Real rap, stone cold stunner up in this. Make you take a knee like Kaepernick. Take a record of the heat like Fitbit. Bars tight, trust me, it's no accident.
The book of Acts, chapter 5, verse 29. Then Peter and the other apostles answered and said, we ought to obey God rather than men.
All right, shalom, everybody. Most High Christ bless. Hope you had a happy and successful Sabbath day. I'm your brother Jacob, and to my left,
Brother Roy.
And we're going to get back into it tonight. Tonight's topic is the eagle rose out of the sea. So, yeah, you guys, we're going back in on Esau and a little bit of what's going on in Gaza. Yeah, what's going on in Gaza? It is very important for you to understand what's happening. It's very important for us to understand prophecy. Like, now is the time, because you have brothers, people be worrying about stuff that really is not going to help you get salvation. You know what I mean? I saw earlier this week, somebody made a post on Facebook about you got prophecy being fulfilled, but you got at the same time you got brothers just worrying about multiple wives or want to discuss multiple wives.
Or flat earth, round earth.
Yeah. That stuff is not going to help you with salvation. What's going to help you is keeping the commandments of the Lord, which one of them is believing on his son, the Christ. Let's open up with the book of Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 11.
The book of Ezekiel chapter 3 and verse 11. And go, get thee to them of the captivity, unto the children of thy people, and speak unto them, and tell them, thus saith the Lord God, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear.
Right, whether they will hear or whether they will forbear. We spent at least an hour with this sister today. And this sister was, like one of the brothers said, when somebody said, no, I don't want to hear that, don't read that, that is a problem. Seriously, it is a problem because literally we supposed to go to our people, the children of our people, which is the Israelites. And we know this because we fit the curses 100%. So ain't no persuading us that we aren't. All of this stuff lines up with us. Nobody can tell you outside of the Israelites why the things are happening in Gaza like they're happening today. Everybody's going, oh, well, okay, well, this happened and this happened. Yes. Who caused it? Who caused all that turmoil all of these years to build it up to this point that it's at right now? Because most people inherently, they don't want no trouble. But then you got certain people that always, everywhere they go is wickedness, is problems. Folks got a job. Satan has a job. He got a people too that do that will for him. Now, man, let's open up with, let's go back to Amos 1 and 6. You know, we did this, the last class that I did. Because right now, I'm focused on this prophecy and stuff that's going on, and our brother Roy is dealing with the spiritual things and how we should behave ourselves right now while I concentrate on this. Amos 1 and start at verse 6.
The book of Amos, chapter 1 and verse 6. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Gaza, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they carried away captive the whole captivity, to deliver them up to Edom. But I will send a fire on the wall of Gaza, which shall devour the palaces thereof.
Right, so the Lord is the one causing these things that are happening there. And as he said, because they gave up the whole captivity, they sold us to the very people that are destroying them right now. You know, like the Lord said, he taketh them in their own devices. Turn around and use everything that they did, he turn around and use it against them. Keep going, verse 8.
And I will cut off the inhabitant from Ashdod, and him that holdeth the scepter from Ashkelon. And I will turn mine against Ekron, and the remnant of the Philistines shall perish, saith the Lord God.
Go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgression of Tyrus, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because they delivered up the whole captivity to Edom, and remember not the brotherly covenant.
Right. So they turned us over to Edom too. You read it in Joel. Whatever you to do with me, Tyre and Zidon, and the coast of the Philistines. So everybody is playing their part, like Elder Ozias used to say. And he drawing them from everywhere to the great battle. So, and I'll be the first to admit, I hate to see what's going on over there, but at the same time, none of us can do about it. Because the Lord, just like the Lord, he put evil on us, he doing the same thing to them. But it's their recompense. They have to go through it. Because when you see that stuff happening, remember, it happened to us the same way. Who was there for us? Who saved us? Nobody. Nobody came to our rescue because the Lord did it. Now, I don't care how much legislation they do. The Lord sent this out, and it's gonna get to whatever point He desire, and then it's gonna spread. But
that's just like we're reading Deuteronomy. The Lord sent these people.
Right.
The Lord did these things.
And no man shall buy.
Right. Man, no man gonna save these, so ain't nobody gonna save them. But they got to go through it. But you know what? In the end, everyone is going to be chastised. Everyone. And then everybody's going to have to fall underneath the Lord and his saints. Hey, give me, before we go anywhere else, we're done here. Give me Daniel. Oh, you want to keep going? Okay.
Verse 10. But I will send a fire on the wall of Tyrus, which shall devour the palaces thereof. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever.
Right.
But I will send a fire upon Teman.
You're good, because all 3 of these is the people that's involved right now. Tyre, Zidon, the Philistines, and Edom. So we're gonna touch on some of this. The first thing we're gonna do. First, give me that picture. Molech? Yeah, Molech. So this is one of the representatives from Russia, and he made this comment. Let him read that.
All right, we got Putin aid on Israel-Palestine war. One shouldn't get diluted. However, the ground operation will take place, and the consequences will be hard and bloody.
Mm-hmm.
Moloch keeps demanding more and more sacrifices, and the mechanism of reciprocal violence is going to grind on for years.
Right. So he's talking about the war that's going, and it ain't no damn war, because you got one side
With
that's
the
got
military.
got the best military there is. You turn that mic off? Yeah, you can turn yours back on. Oh, okay. So yeah, you got one military that's the fourth best military in the world, and then and they got defenses like the Iron Dome. When you shoot missiles at them, they shoot them down. But the people that they dropping bombs on ain't got nothing for protection. They don't even have electricity. And you talking about this a war? How can it be a war? It's just a damn slaughter.
It's a genocide.
But that's like one thing that these people do. They push propaganda continually. It's so I couldn't find a video before we went live, so I didn't go. I didn't plan on even mentioning it. But what they did, you had people like influencers, social media influencers, and they were coming out and showing where the Israeli government was reaching out to them and telling them to say that you denounce what Hamas did and you approve of Israel. And then they would give them a certain amount of money. You talk about propaganda. See, that's why we got laws like, what was we talking about with the sister today? Not being a respecter of persons. But these people claim they're the people of God, and they breaking every law that you can think of.
The laws that tell us don't lie.
Right. Yet they doing it continually. And so Molech, Molech, where is that? So there is a reason he brought that up. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Leviticus chapter 20 and verse 2. Because now I understand why he's this dude. He mentioned Molech, right? Go ahead, Leviticus 20 and verse 2.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 20 and verse 2. Again, thou shalt say to the children of Israel, whosoever he be of the children of Israel. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Whosoever he be of the children of Israel, or of the strangers that sojourn in Israel, that giveth any of his seed unto Molech, he shall surely be put to death.
Mm-hmm.
The people of the land shall stone him with stones.
So one of the Canaanite gods was Molech. And that's who they would give their children to. They would burn their children up, giving them to this god. Read the next verse.
And I will set my face against that man, and will cut him off from being among his people.
Oh, you skipped the verse. No. It just keeps saying it.
Yeah, verse 3. And I will set my face against that man, and will cut him off from among his people, because he hath given of his seed unto Molech, to defile my sanctuary, and to profane my holy name.
Go ahead.
And if the people of the land do any ways hide their eyes from the man, when he giveth of his seed unto Molech, and kill him not, then I will set my face against that man, and against his family, and will cut him off, and all that go a-whoring after him, to commit whoredom with Molech, from among their people.
Right. So that's why the guy brought it up. That's a Canaanite god. They're in the land of Canaan. But why did he say this in particular? Because they have killed 7,000 people with I think 2,700 of them being children. So he taking a shot at them because they over there just dropping bombs and killing children. I saw a video earlier because you might think, oh, they just like taking these babies from somewhere and just running away from the scene with them, and that is fake. No, there's actual footage of them finding people under the rubble, still alive. It's unbelievable. Now, let's go to Exodus 23. So what we're doing, really, we're going to vent for a minute before we get into the topic. Just to show, though these people call themselves the children of God, God's chosen people, we're just going to show you a few things that they're not doing, that though they claim they're the children of God and they're in the land and they're not doing it. Even when you go to Deuteronomy, it said you're supposed to keep these laws when you get in the land. Yet, they got gay parades over there. They're slaughtering, murdering men, women, and children. They're supposed to be going after Hamas, but they're killing men, women, and children. That make no damn sense. Exodus 23 and verse 7.
I was going to read verse 1.
You can.
Exodus chapter 23 and verse 1. Thou shalt not raise a false report.
Whew.
Put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness.
So, like them going to them influencers and telling them to, put in a word for us, denounce Hamas, and we'll pay you.
Or the media coverage of saying, remember how many times they had to retract statements because people called them out for lying about where missiles came from to shoot the hospital down. The kid, the babies being beheaded and all that stuff when they said they went over there. There's a whole lot of things they had to retract. They threw out the narrative.
What's the videos? One of them. Does one of them say that lies about the lies?
You got Israelis mock Gazans. Nothing about Sea of the Waves.
Okay.
The book of Exodus, chapter 23 and verse 7. Keep thee far from a false matter.
Right.
And the innocent and righteous slay thou not.
So, hold on. That's the whole reason everybody's arguing and out in the street right now, because they're killing innocent children, which we know ain't no such thing. You don't know what these children did when they was here before, and the Lord paying them back. But the way he do it anyway, he deal with the nation. The nation got to go through that. But the children haven't done anything to them. Yet they slaying them. Read it from the top again.
Book of Exodus, chapter 23 and verse 7. Keep thee far from a false matter, and the innocent and righteous slay thou not. For I will not justify the wicked.
Those people pushing the buttons and dropping them bombs, it's no doubt about it that they wicked. They killing a lot of innocent people. They might call it collateral damage or an accident, whatever the hell they want to call it. They still taking their lives of people that don't have nothing, of people that did not go into the state of Israel and kidnap folks and kill folks. You had certain men that went in there and did that, but they done killed over 7,000 people and have injured somewhere like 20,000. And trying to justify it. That's why they keep bringing up October the 7th, trying to justify what they're doing every day. Go ahead.
What you want next? Keep reading.
Yeah.
And thou shalt take no gift.
Oh my God. I just brought that up, what they're doing to the influencers. They're trying to give them a gift. But some of them was like, hell no, and then put the information out there. I mean, put the information out there, like snapshot it and put it out there. This is what they did. Go ahead.
For the gift blindeth the wise, and perverteth the words of the righteous.
Go ahead.
Also, thou shalt not oppress a stranger, for ye know the heart of a stranger, seeing ye were strangers in the land of Egypt.
Now, you got even Jewish reporters that have gone to stay over there and give their story on what's going on in Gaza. And they talk about just how bad the oppression is. How you, let's say if you live in Gaza, but you work in Israel for the Israelis, you have to go through like this corridor, and then they got, if you're Palestinian, you have to go down this one aisle, and if you're Jewish, you go down the other one. And if you're Jewish, you can get in, but if you're Palestinian, you got to sit there and wait. They'll make you wait sometimes up to 3 hours. That's even if you're going in there to work. Mm. And like another a Jewish person made the point. No, it was an Irish prime minister or some kind of Irish representative. He went in on the Israeli ambassador. He said, you got people that can be in any country on this earth and claim to be Jewish, and they have the right to go to Jerusalem and become a citizen. Whereas you got Palestinians that lived in the land, or their parents lived in the land, and they can never become a citizen.
Or like that one guy, he had proof that his family owned that land.
Uh-huh.
Still
Don't make
had
a
no
difference to
rights.
them. Don't make a difference to them. But you these are laws you're supposed to be applying. You're the children of God. You're the people of God. And he done bought you back in. That's a damn lie. The Lord ain't bring them in there. Satan did. Their brother did. Matter of fact, all of them related. Satan, them, and the folks that put them in there, that gave them that land. You can drop this. Go to Leviticus 19. It's amazing. The more you learn about these folks and what they have done on the earth, when you look at all the other nations, like, man, how are they so docile? I know we're docile. We've had the wool pulled over our eyes. But being on the outside of this place and looking in, how could you still be like that? The Lord had to give them dominion, man. Leviticus 19:33.
Book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 33. And if a stranger sojourn with thee in your land, ye shall not vex him
Whoa.
or oppress.
So, yeah, ye shall not vex him. So remember there's a video that I referred to one time. They came and put up a Israeli checkpoint right next to this man's house. And every time he comes out his house, he has to come through the gate. And before he can go anywhere, he got to show his ID and check out. Like, bro, if that ain't vexing, if that's not oppression, I don't know what is. They can't even go down certain streets. Certain streets are Israeli only. Israeli citizen only. Because you're not supposed to vex the people. What happens when you vex people?
I'm going to get angry.
Right. Even if you got a bully bullying a little guy, at some point that little dude gonna turn around and do something fierce. He gonna pick up something because he don't have the size or whatever. He might not have the skills to fight. He'll end up picking up something.
And those would be the kids that bring the gun to school or something.
Yeah. Anything to stop the oppression. It'll make you do something extreme. Go ahead.
But the stranger that dwelleth with you shall be unto you as one born among you, and thou shalt love him as thyself.
Right, you should love him as thyself, meaning you're supposed to apply these very same commandments to him, although he's not one of your people. That way you keep peace on the land. Understand that Lord God is the God of peace. Yes. That's why the world is wicked. And you got these certain people going everywhere oppressing the hell out of folks. Was that the whole verse?
No. For ye were strangers in the land of Egypt. I am the Lord your God.
So you're supposed to understand, because you were strangers, not to treat the strangers, some crazy kind of way. You show them respect. When you look at I was trying to tell the sister at camp, the whole totality of everything in the scriptures, what we're doing, the Lord is preparing us to be the rulers of the earth and keep peace on the earth. This is his creation. He set it up in the order that he wanted. And he thought of everything. So these laws we're going over is how you keep peace, period. Period. All right. Chapter 20 and verse 13.
The book of Leviticus, chapter 20 and verse 13. If a man also lie with mankind as he lied with a woman, both of them have committed an abomination.
Are the Israelis doing that? They got gay parades over there, right?
They're endorsing it.
It's just love. It's just love. Yeah, gay parade. Imagine a gay parade during the time of David.
Man, he would have had another 1,000 on his body count.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, yes sir, treading the wine press. Deuteronomy 20. Deuteronomy 20. Just a couple more minutes, y'all, and then we're gonna hit the main topic. Start at verse 10.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 20 and verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
When thou comest nigh unto a city to fight against it, then proclaim peace unto it.
Now, did they do that? Matter of fact, they forced the Palestinians, into the land of Gaza. And they built a wall all the way around that jank, man. All the way around it. They can't leave by the sea. They can't leave into Egypt. And then they can't come into Israel. They blocked in every direction. You know, and you got a lot of people asking, why won't the Egyptians let them come in through there? And there's a reason why. Because the Egyptians are not thinking short term. Because they understand what will happen. So you got a lot of people saying, oh, you see how Moses is telling them not to leave and preventing them from leaving. What they're doing, they understand that if they leave out through Egypt, they never getting back in. Because that's the whole plan. The whole plan anyway is to keep vexing them and slowly killing them until they want to leave and just leave off the land. Then they occupy the whole land. That's the whole plan right there. So that's why they're not opening it for them. And you got the people within Gaza saying, don't leave. We're not leaving. We're staying. We're not having a second intifada. I hope I'm right. I think I'm right. What it means is the catastrophe. Because the first catastrophe was when 700,000 of them got defeated by the sword and they had to move into the land of Gaza. So that was 700,000. So that was like their grandparents. And they still in there. Like, that's why the reason you see so many Arab countries getting upset and everybody protesting all over the world is because this whole thing has been going on for 75 years. These people have tried to do it the right way. Say, okay, we're not going to use guns or weapons and fight. We're going to try to use diplomacy. It has gotten them nowhere. They have less and less and less land as time goes on. You can't deal with these people like that. They're not listening. They're not trying to do it the right way. The United Nations told them in the 60s, this part is yours and the other part is theirs. Yet they steadily been taking it away and will not implement the things that the UN put in there. These people don't want righteousness. They just want what they want. They're from Amalek. And they've always wanted the land. They've always wanted our land. So when thou comest unto a city to fight against it, then proclaim peace unto it. Did they do that? Hell to the no. They just started talking about vengeance. They kept vexing them people and vexing them till they finally attacked them. You can't even do that to an animal. An animal will attack you if you keep messing with it. Go ahead, bro.
And it shall be, if it make thee answer of peace, and open unto thee, then it shall be, that all the people that is found therein shall be tributaries unto thee, and they shall serve thee.
So they did not do that. They didn't check to see if all the people wanted to fight against them or not. No, they just said everybody in the north, move to the south. We're gonna start bombing. And then as they was moving to the south, they was bombing them on their way. And then when they got to the south, they was bombing them down there. Go ahead.
And if it will make no peace with thee, but will make war against thee, then thou shalt besiege it.
Right. Then shalt thou besiege it. Go ahead.
And when the Lord thy God have delivered it unto thine hands, thou shalt smite every male thereof with the edge of the sword.
Smite every male. Go ahead.
But it says, when the Lord thy God have delivered it unto thine hands.
Right. The Lord ain't delivered nothing to them. Nothing. The Lord ain't with them. When did anybody have a revelation that the Lord did something over there? The Lord ain't with them. Period. They're not even the right people. You calm down. Go ahead. Go ahead.
But the women and the little ones.
But
and
the women and the little ones. Go ahead.
and the cattle, and all that is in the city, even all the spoil thereof, shalt thou take unto thyself.
Mm-hmm.
And thou shalt eat the spoil of thine enemies, which the Lord thy God have given thee.
Go ahead, verse 15.
Thus shalt thou do unto all the cities which are very far off from thee, which are not of the cities of these nations.
Right. So that's how you're supposed to do it. They're not doing it that way. You're supposed to save the women and the children alive, and then they're supposed to be your servants. But no, they killing every damn thing in their path. 19.
Verse 19. When thou shalt besiege a city a long time, and making war against it to take it, thou shalt not destroy the trees thereof by forcing an axe against them. For thou mayest eat of them, and thou shalt not cut them down. For the tree of the field is man's life.
The tree of the field is man's life. Go ahead.
To employ them in the siege.
So the way that they bombing, they destroying every damn thing. You know what? No, we'll get to that later. We'll see some. You'll see a little video. I think it's in there of what the destruction looks like. I swear they dropped like 10,000 bombs on that place. They claim, oh, we going after this and we're going. So them folks got 10,000 different places that they hiding. Man, you got to be kidding me. They just carpet bombing the place, killing as many people as they can. Go ahead, verse 20.
Only the trees which thou knowest that they be not trees for meat, thou shalt destroy and cut them down. And thou shalt build bulwarks against the city that maketh war with thee until it be subdued.
So in other words, you're supposed to leave stuff or things in the land so that people can partake of it. You don't wipe out everything. Even when you look like at how the Lord did when he was running the people out of the cities before us, he said, I'm not going to do it all in 1 year, but I'm going to do it over time so that like the beasts of the land don't take over. Like they multiply and there be too many of them in there. You know what I'm saying? The Lord got a plan for everything. These people, you know who they are. They destroying everything. Now, Deuteronomy 24, verse 14.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 24 and verse 14. Thou shalt not oppress an hired servant that is poor and needy, whether he be of thy brethren or of thy strangers that are in thy land within thy gates.
So in Gaza, half of them don't have jobs. They are bound in that place and they can't leave. That's why so many people, especially scholars and reporters, people that really understand what's going on, they call it an open air prison. Nothing gets in, nothing gets out without the say-so of the Israelis. That's why they have a hard time understanding how they keep getting weapons in that jam. But they know they got tunnels underground because they completely locked them in there. You can't even get medicine. You can't even go to a specialist doctor, like come outside there and go to a specialist that's in another land because they're not going to allow you out. Go ahead, verse 15.
At his day thou shalt give him his hire, neither shall the sun go down upon it, for he is poor, and setteth his heart upon it, lest he cry against thee unto the Lord, and it be sin unto thee.
So if you do that and he cries out, then it's sin. That's a stranger. Because we supposed to treat people, the people of God supposed to treat people a certain way. These people got no empathy. We be feeling sorry for folks. Remember that it was a bunch of folks was getting ready to beat up a white man one time. And who kept him from getting beat up?
One of our women.
Yep. But that's just how we are. We have empathy and sympathy for people, period. You can see that quality. We're going to be the judges of the earth. You can see we'll be extending mercy to folks. Not them. Especially them. Now, verse 17.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 24 and verse 17. Thou shalt not pervert the judgment of the stranger, nor of the fatherless, nor take a widow's raiment to pledge.
They lock people up over there and just keep them in jail. Don't even give them time. They don't even go to court. They got 6,000 people in Israeli prisons right now. And some of them don't even have a damn charge. Been there for years. That's how they do. Go ahead.
But thou shalt remember that thou was a bondman in Egypt, and the Lord thy God redeemed thee thence. Therefore I command thee to do this thing.
Go ahead.
When thou cuttest down thine harvest in thy field, and hast forgot a sheaf in the field, thou shalt not go again to fetch it. It shall be for the stranger, for the fatherless, and for the widow, that the Lord thy God may bless thee in all the work of thine hands. When thou beatest thine olive tree, thou shalt not go over the boughs again. It shall be for the stranger, for the fatherless, and for the widow. When thou gatherest the grapes of thy vineyard, thou shalt not glean it afterward. It shall be for the stranger, for the fatherless, and for the widow. And thou shalt remember that thou wast a bondman in the land of Egypt. Therefore I command thee to do this thing.
Right. You see how righteous the Father is in making the commandments? It's made so that you have respect for all creation. All creation. If when you live that way, there won't be no uprising. Just remember what the Queen of Sheba said to Solomon. Because everything was set in order, everybody was happy. Everybody. She said, even thy servants. Everybody's at peace because, like it say in the scriptures, the righteous is ruling. Right now, the wicked is ruling. The wicked have deceived everybody into thinking that they're the people. Well, all you got to do is look at the actions. A Christian is say, they'll come at us and be like, you ain't putting forth the fruits. Well, what about these people you sending billions of dollars to and believing that they're the people of God? Don't make no sense. Deuteronomy 27:17. So all of this is going down because they wanted the land and they kicked them off the land and stuck them down in Gaza, occupying them over in the West Bank. Deuteronomy 27:17.
The book of Deuteronomy chapter 27 and verse 17. Cursed be he that removeth his neighbor's landmark. And all the people shall say, Amen.
Right. So when it say cursed, that means you supposed to be put to death if you move your neighbor's landmark. They done took the whole damn land. What do you think's gonna happen? You know what I'm saying? Hold on. Let me check something real quick. I think it's Ezekiel. I think. Let me see. Ezekiel 35, 5 and 6.
The book of Ezekiel, chapter 35 and verse 5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel, by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end.
Right, so this is talking about Seir, a.k.a. the Idumeans, a.k.a. the Edomites. They have had a perpetual hatred for us. But they haven't just killed us. They're killing everybody. Watch this the point, though. Verse 6.
Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord God, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. Sith thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee.
So everywhere they go, they shedding blood. So the Lord is like, because you don't hate blood, blood is going to pursue you. And where that go all the way back to? It go back to Cain. When he got kicked out the Garden of Eden, is anybody that killed Cain going to get it 7 times worse? It's the same with these folks. Living by the sword. Go up against them if you dare. They're going to drop bombs. We'll get into that later. Anyway, you can drop this. So these are laws that them folks, we're going to refer to them as them folks, the small hats, Amalek. These are the laws that they're not keeping over there. They'll put the little yarmulkes on. They'll keep all this stuff that's in the Talmud, but they won't keep God's commandments. So now to the lesson, 2nd Esdras, chapter 11. Put the picture back up there. Yep. Yeah, 2nd Esdras 11 and verse 1.
The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 11 and verse 1. Then saw I a dream, and behold, there came up from the sea an eagle, which had 12 feathered wings and 3 heads. And I saw, and behold...
Oh, read again.
The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 11 and verse 1. Then saw I a dream, and behold, there came up from the sea an eagle, which had 12 feathered wings and 3 heads.
Right. So that came up out of the sea. Now, we've done classes before showing, like, when you can go all the way back to Genesis 1, and Moses said, the gathering together of the waters called he seas. It's talking about people. Multitudes of people is the sea. Go ahead.
And I saw, and behold, she spread her wings
You can come back up.
over all the earth, and all the winds of the air blew on her, and were gathered together.
Right, and she spread her wings over all the earth, this eagle. Go ahead.
And I beheld, and out of her feathers there grew other contrary feathers, and they became little feathers and small. But her heads were at rest.
Her heads were at rest. Go ahead.
The head in the midst was greater than the other, yet rested it with the residue. Moreover, I beheld, and lo, the eagle flew with her feathers and rained upon earth and over them that dwelt therein.
Right. So who would you think that this eagle is that spread his wings and ruled over all the earth?
Amalek?
Not Amalek in particular, but
Nah.
but yeah. But Esau. So actually, it's talking about Rome. We'll see. You'll see. Read verse 6. This is something I said when we was at camp.
And I saw that all things under heaven were subject unto her, and no man spake against her. No, not one creature upon earth.
Why people don't say nothing about the United States? Why they scared? Right? You meet people on the street and be like, who are we sold to? The white man.
The United States, you take the next 5 countries and add it all up, the United States spends more than all of them on defense, on military.
On
money.
military.
And COVID shut everything down.
Right. Now, Matthew 24. Matthew 24. So this eagle, right? The eagle existed during the time of Christ. Verse 28.
The book of Matthew, chapter 24 and verse 28. For wheresoever the carcass is,
Wherever the dead body is. Go ahead.
there will the eagles be gathered together.
How many dead bodies in Gaza? And who's doing it? And doing it from the sky. The eagles. Even though they got the Star of David, they still part of the eagle. That's why they do everything that the eagle does. They get their weapons from the eagle. Anything happen, who backs them up? Other eagles. They just another, this is a different feather. You can drop this. You can drop that. Back to 2nd Esdras 11. We're going to jump. So this class shouldn't be very long. We're going to jump a little bit.
You just said it now. 2 more hours.
No. Verse 32.
The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 11 and verse 32. But this head put the whole earth in fear, and bare rule in it over all those that dwell upon the earth with much oppression.
With much oppression. What people ruling over the earth oppressing the hell out of everybody? Well, because nations secretly hate these people. Go ahead.
And it had the governance of the world more than all the wings that had been.
Mm-hmm.
And after this I beheld, and lo, the head that was in the midst suddenly appeared no more, like as the wings.
Go ahead.
But there remained the 2 heads, which also in like sort ruled upon the earth, and over those that dwelt therein. And I beheld, and lo, the head upon the right side devoured it that was upon the left side. Then I heard a voice which said unto me, Look before thee, and consider the thing that thou seest.
Now, remember, I don't know how much history brothers and sisters know, but Rome was split into 2 kingdoms. You had an eastern kingdom and a western kingdom. But that's what this eagle is going into. Go ahead.
And I beheld, and lo, as it were a roaring lion, chased out of the wood. And I saw that he sent out a man's voice unto the eagle and said,
Hold on. So what's this roaring lion? Who is this roaring lion? Revelation 5 and verse 4. So this eagle, this roaring lion, is going to rebuke this eagle.
The book of Revelation, chapter 5 and verse 4. And I wept much, because no man was found worthy to open and to read the book, neither to look thereon. And one of the elders saith unto me, Weep not. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, hath prevailed to open the book and to loose the 7 seals thereof.
Right. Christ is that lion. Back to 2nd Esdras 11,
The book
verse
of 2nd,
38.
The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 11 and verse 38. Hear thou, I will talk with thee, and the highest shall say unto thee, Art not thou it that remainest of the 4 beasts? Whom
Yeah. 2nd Esdras 11, and we're at 39 right now.
Art not thou it that remainest of the 4 beasts, whom I made to reign in my world, that the end of their times might come through them?
He's talking about Daniel, the statue in Daniel. It relates to 4 beasts when Daniel starts breaking it down. Go ahead. We're going to go there later. Not yet, but we're going to go there in a little bit. Go ahead.
And the 4th came, and overcame all the beasts that were past, and had power over the world with great fearfulness, and over the whole compass of the earth with much wicked oppression.
With much wicked oppression. Go ahead.
And so long time dwelt he upon the earth with deceit.
With deceit. Deceit meaning lies. Much wicked oppression and deceit. Every day, more and more stuff come out. Think about the last 5 years. How many stories have come out about, like, let's say, cities that got lakes over them now, where they killed whole communities of our people, and then made it a lake. There's a whole lot of history coming out.
Central
People
Park
are bringing
in New
forth, huh?
They said Central Park.
Yeah,
New
Central.
York
Yep, Central Park. And this stuff, they say it's hundreds of them. They've done that much evil. So they've been living with much wicked oppression and deceit. Go ahead.
Verse 41. For the earth hast thou not judged with truth.
So if they were given dominion over the earth, but they have not judged them with truth. Go ahead.
For thou hast afflicted the meek, thou hast hurt the peaceable, thou hast loved liars, and destroyed the dwellings of them that brought forth fruit, and hast cast down the walls of such as did thee no harm.
See, you know, that goes into like you keeping this. We're supposed to be righteous judges on the earth and judging matters accordingly, but not them. Like we was having a conversation earlier with the sister. Like I said in the scriptures, that true judgment does not go forth, and the wicked are in authority. Go ahead.
Therefore is thy wrongful dealing come up unto the highest, and thy pride unto the mighty.
That means that's just like it say in Revelation 18, the sins have reached to the heavens. Go ahead.
The highest also hath looked upon the proud times, and behold, they are ended, and his abominations are fulfilled.
Like it say in Daniel 7, judgment was set. He beheld till the thrones was cast down, and judgment was set. Go ahead.
And therefore appear no more, thou eagle, nor thy horrible wings, nor thy wicked feathers, nor thy malicious heads, nor thy hurtful claws, nor all thy vain body.
The whole body appear no more. But he's saying horrible wings, wicked feathers, malicious heads, hurtful claws. All these different aspects of them that's just destroying and oppressing the hell out of everybody on the earth. The eagle gotta go. Go ahead.
That all the earth may be refreshed.
Wow. So when the eagle is gone, all the earth will be refreshed. That's why the eagle has to be destroyed. Those people have to be wiped out if there's going to be peace on the earth. Ain't no way. And these ain't our words.
Right.
Chapter 12 and verse 1.
Finish this verse?
Yeah, finish that verse. And then we just
that all the earth may be refreshed and may return, being delivered from thy violence, and that she may hope for the judgment and mercy of him that made her.
Right, all the earth. That joint said, delivered from thy violence. If you can't see who the violent people on the earth are, something wrong with you. They over there killing women and babies, and the first people come to their side to tell them we got your back 100% is the United States. No different. They the same people, and they do the same thing. Wicked as hell. You go right up, not too far from the state of Israel into Iraq. The U.S. and its allies killed over 1 million citizens of the Iraqis. 1 million. And then went into Afghanistan for 20 years. Who knows how many they killed there? This don't fit. This only fits one race of people, even though they think that they're different races. For some reason, they think that them, being white people, are different from Jewish people. What the hell are you talking about? You can look at them and can't tell the difference. All right, 2 Esdras 12 and verse 1.
The book of 2 Esdras, chapter 12 and verse 1. And it came to pass, whiles the lion spake these words unto the eagle I saw. And behold, the head that remained and the four wings appeared no more. And the two went unto it and set themselves up to reign. And their kingdom was small and full of uproar.
Their kingdom was small and full of uproar. Go ahead.
And I saw, and behold, they appeared no more. And the whole body of the eagle was burnt, so that the earth was in great fear.
The whole body of the eagle. That means its wings,
His feathers,
his heads,
his
claws, and his whole body was burnt. Go ahead.
So that the earth was in great fear. Then awaked I out of the trouble and trance of my mind, and from great fear, and said unto my spirit, Lo, this hast thou done unto me, and that thou searchest out the ways of the highest.
Right, you good. Now, let's jump to verse 10.
Verse 10. And he said unto me, this is the interpretation of the vision.
Right. This is the interpretation of the vision. Go ahead.
The eagle, whom thou sawest come up from the sea, is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel.
Thy brother Daniel. Hold on.
Daniel 4.
Daniel 2. We're going to go there in a second. First, Revelation 13:1. It's the fourth beast.
The book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 1. And I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy.
Right. So this is just like we read 2nd Esdras 11:1. He saw an eagle rise up out the sea. So this is the beast that rose up out the sea. Now we know, because a lot of people don't believe in Esdras or the Apocrypha, but now you know this beast, the symbol is the eagle. We weren't told that in right here, but we know because of Esdras that this beast is the eagle. Now, back to 2nd Esdras 12, read 11 again, then we're going to jump to Daniel.
The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 12 and verse 11. The eagle whom thou sawest come up from the sea is the kingdom which was seen in the vision of thy brother Daniel.
Right, in the vision of that brother Daniel, which is Daniel chapter 2. That's where we're going. Let's see, you're going all over the place.
Don't read that. Don't read that.
Let's start at verse 39.
The book of Daniel, chapter 2 and verse 39. And after thee shall arise another kingdom, inferior to thee, and another third kingdom of brass, which shall bear rule over all the earth. And the fourth kingdom shall be strong as iron, for as much as iron breaketh in pieces, and subdueth all things.
Hold on. Iron breaketh in pieces and subdue all things. So what is that iron talking about? It's talking about military might. This eagle has military might. This beast. Go ahead.
And as iron that breaketh all these, shall it break in pieces and bruise.
Go ahead.
And whereas thou sawest the feet and toes, part of potter's clay and part of iron, the kingdom shall be divided, but there shall be in it of the strength of the iron, for as much as thou sawest the iron mixed with miry clay.
So what that means is, we're in this kingdom of the eagle, these Edomites. And although they go around the earth destroying nations, and those people then come and live underneath them, so even though they do that, they're not gonna mix with each other. Even though
of the military.
Yeah, you still got the strong military here, but because of all the wickedness you've done all around the earth, the people are not really gonna mesh together. All it's gonna take is for something to wake them up, for them to look back to their people at home and be like, damn.
Well, Elder Ozias told their brother to strip. He said, you need to activate.
Right. And they was from Jordan.
Yeah.
Them folks is getting hype right now.
He said, what you need to do is activate. Stop hanging with him.
Go ahead.
And as the toes of the feet were a part of iron and part of clay, so the kingdom shall be partly strong and partly broken.
Partly strong and partly broken, because iron is not going to mix with clay. Go ahead.
And whereas thou sawest iron mixed with the miry clay, they shall mingle themselves with the seed of men, but they shall not cleave one to another, even as iron is not mixed with clay.
They're not going to cleave together. So the iron and the miry clay is an example. You know that stuff does not mix together. When all it's going to take is for when people of the other nations are afflicted by this man, and it's going to hit them, because the Lord is holding that spirit back. But when it hits them, they're like, wait a minute. All the wickedness these folks have done to us, it's going to be on. And remember, we're the hidden ones. It's going to stay out the way. Keep going.
And in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom which shall never be destroyed. And the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever.
Right. That's the kingdom of the Lord. It's going to destroy all other kingdoms, and it's going to last forever. Man, give me because I made the comment we need to just stay out the way. The Lord always got a plan. We just got to have faith in Him.
14 to 14.
No, Exodus. Exodus 14 and verse 22.
The book of Exodus, chapter 14 and verse 22. And the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea upon the dry ground.
Hold on, because this is for those that have an ear to hear this. Remember, the sea is people. Go ahead.
And the children of Israel went into the midst of the sea upon the dry ground. And the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left.
Go ahead.
And the Egyptians pursued and went in after them to the midst of the sea, even all Pharaoh's horses and chariots and his horsemen. And it came to pass that in the morning watch the Lord looked unto the host of the Egyptians through the pillar of fire and of the cloud, and troubled the host of the Egyptians.
Now, jump down to verse 29.
Verse 29. But the children of Israel walked upon dry land in the midst of the sea.
In the midst of the sea. Go ahead.
And the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand and on their left.
Come on.
Thus saith the Lord, saved Israel that day out of the hand of the Egyptians. And Israel saw the Egyptians dead upon the seashore.
Right. You good. You good. If you got an ear to hear or eyes to see that right there, all praises to the Most High. Now let's go back to 2nd Esdras 12. Have faith, because it's some dark days ahead. Second Esdras 12 and verse 23.
The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 12 and verse 23. In his last days shall the Most High raise up 3 kingdoms, and renew many things therein, and they shall have the dominion of the earth.
All right. So he's still going into the interpretation of the dream. The angel's giving him the interpretation. Go ahead.
And of those that dwell therein, with much oppression, above all those that were before them. Therefore are they called the heads of the eagle.
Right. So the heads of the eagle are oppressing people more than they ever have. Go ahead.
For these are they that shall accomplish his wickedness, and that shall finish his last end.
Right. So we started 23, 25. These heads are going to cause the end with much wicked oppression. Jump down to verse 30.
The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 12 and verse 30. It signifieth that these are they, whom the highest have kept unto their end. This is the small kingdom and full of trouble, as thou sawest.
Now, when we read in other passages, like in 2nd Esdras 6, it says what? Esau is the end of the world, right? And this you just read, it signifies that these are they which the highest have kept unto their end. This is the small kingdom and full of trouble, as thou sawest. Esau is the end of the world, and Jacob is the beginning of that which followeth. Go ahead.
And the lion, whom thou sawest rising up out of the wood and roaring, and speaking to the eagle, and rebuking her for her unrighteousness, with all the words which thou hast heard. This is the anointed, which the highest hath kept for them, and for their wickedness unto the end. He shall reprove them, and shall upbraid them with their cruelty.
So he done kept them till the end. He's kept him to the end. Go ahead.
For he shall set them before him alive in judgment, and shall rebuke them and correct them.
Who do you think it's talking about? Who's the he? Go ahead.
For the rest of my people shall he deliver with mercy.
The rest of my people shall he deliver with mercy.
Those that have been preserved upon my borders, and he shall make them joyful unto the coming of the day of judgment, whereof I have spoken unto thee from the beginning.
Go ahead.
This is the dream that thou sawest, and these are the interpretations. Thou only has been meet to know this secret of the highest.
Right. So he was chosen to know these secrets. That it's talking about Christ. I'm just gonna say it. Christ is the one selected to rebuke them at the end and to save us at the end. That's why it's in verse 34. For the rest of my people shall he deliver with mercy. Chapter 13, and we're going to start at verse 21.
The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 13 and verse 21. The interpretation of the vision shall show thee, and I will open unto thee the thing that thou hast required. Whereas thou hast spoken of them that are left behind. This is the interpretation.
Right. So those that are left behind. Go ahead.
He that shall endure the peril in that time hath kept himself. They that be fallen into danger are such as have works and faith toward the Almighty.
So those that fall into danger are those that's being obedient, that have done works. It's saying the same thing as let's go there. Revelation 12 and 17. It's saying the same thing. Revelation 12 and 17. I don't know why people will call Esdras, that's not canon, that's pseudographical, blah, blah, blah, blah, blah, but it line up with everything. Even some things you can't explain in Revelation is in here. Oh, yeah.
The book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God, and have the testimony of Jesus Christ.
Saying the exact same thing. What verses? Yeah, 2nd Esdras 13 and
23.
Yeah, 23. Yeah, read it again for him.
He that shall endure the peril in that time have kept himself. They that be fallen into danger are such as have works and faith toward the Almighty.
Right. So if you're doing this right, folks gonna come after you. They gonna come after you. Right now, they occupied. But shortly, they're going to be looking at us, and they're going to come after us. Go ahead.
2nd Esdras, chapter 13 and verse 24 now. Know this, therefore, that they which be left behind are more blessed than they that be dead. This is the meaning of the vision.
Hold on. Because they are proving themselves and going through the fire to get that salvation. Go ahead.
This is the meaning of the vision. Whereas thou sawest a man coming up from the midst of the sea. The same is he whom God the highest hath kept a great season, which by his own self shall deliver his creature, and he shall order them that are left behind. And whereas thou sawest that out of his mouth there came as a blast of wind and fire and storm, and that he held neither sword nor any instrument of war, but that the rushing in of him destroyed the whole multitude that came to subdue him. This is the interpretation.
Hold on. No, go ahead. Keep going for a couple verses.
Verse 29. Behold, the days come, when the Most High shall begin to deliver them that are upon the earth. And he shall come to the astonishment of them that dwell on the earth.
Come to the astonishment. Now, for time's sake, we're not going to go there, but it say the same thing in Wisdom of Solomon about those that used you and took no account of your labors. Yeah, they're going to be astonished at the strangeness of your salvation. Go ahead, though. Verse 31.
Verse 31. And one shall undertake to fight against another, one city against another, one place against another, one people against another, and one realm against another.
Right. Also, all these people coming against each other. Go ahead.
And the time shall be when these things shall come to pass, and the sign shall happen which I showed thee before. And then shall my son be declared, whom thou sawest as a man ascending.
Right, so that's why I was saying, it's talking about Christ when it kept saying he. his son gonna be declared. Now, I guess this is why Jewish people reject the Old Testament, or
New Testament.
they reject Esdras, because it's talking about his son. Because it's gonna mention him by name. Go to Daniel 3:25. I wonder what their take is on this. Okay.
The book of Daniel, chapter 3 and verse 25.
Mm-hmm.
He answered and said, Lo, I see 4 men loose, walking in the midst of the fire.
Right. Everybody know the story. Go ahead.
And they have no hurt. And the form of the fourth is like the Son of God.
Like the Son of God. So how he know it's like the Son of God? Back to 2nd Esdras 13.
Verse 2nd
33.
Esdras chapter 13 and verse 33. And when all the people hear his voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another.
Right. So stop right here. So everybody's going to leave the battle that they have one against another. Let's go to Revelation 13. I should have went to this earlier when we came here. I just thought about it a couple minutes ago. Give me. Start at verse 11.
The book of Revelation, chapter 13 and verse 11. And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth.
So this is and now this beast, it's the same beast. It's just we're dealing with different heads. Go ahead.
And he had 2 horns like a lamb,
Mm-hmm.
and he spake as a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And he exercised of all the power of the first beast before him. And
So what it's talking about? It's talking about America, and the beast before him was Rome. It's the same people, the same Romans, the same Edomites. Now they're in a different land, being called by a different name. It's the first beast all over again. Go ahead.
And he exercised of all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed.
Right, that deadly wound is what happened to Rome. Rome got defeated by Septimius Severus in 193 AD. They lost rulership. It was other people that was ruling in Rome. But they came back during the Renaissance period. Go ahead.
And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men.
That's the point. How does fire come down out of heaven? Video, please. Not the sea. Fire from heaven 1.
Down here.
Yeah, we're doing it. Hey, so a couple weeks ago when we did like the first part of this class, I made the statement that terrorism is subjective. So, you know, the white man loves to throw that term around when dealing with anybody that's against him. If you come and do any kind of act against him, you're a terrorist. But like the guy that went on the shooting spree killing folks, I bet you they don't label him as a terrorist. But anybody that's in Islam that got a gun, they're going to call them a terrorist. But terror is when somebody puts terror on you. When them bombs is dropping right there, do you think those folks is terrified? It don't make no damn sense, man. They love putting labels on stuff and then putting them on people and then demoralize the people when you the worst thing walking the face of the earth, man.
They're the worst type of terrorists.
And then they had the statistics. We watched the video last week of how many hospitals, schools, and refugee camps they were blowing up.
Yes.
Not even the war zones, hospitals, schools, and refugee camps.
That's why they not mentioning Russia. They want to throw Russia under the bus, but Russia is fighting on the damn battlefield.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And they fighting over the same thing because of what the Ukrainian people was doing to the Russian people in their land. Bombing them and killing them. And they tried diplomacy for 8 years, but you can't have diplomacy with these people. They're going to keep doing their wickedness. Now, remember what I said about terrorism being subjective. Now play that third one.
لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله لا إله إلا الله تعالي يا عمو تعالي تعالي يا حبيبتي تعالي تعالي يا عمو تعالي يا حبيبتي تعالي تعالي يا حبيبتي تعالي تعالي تعالي تعالي حبيبتي تعالي تعالي تعالي تعالي خفيش تعالي
يلا يا حجة
تعالي تعالي خفيش يا حبيبتي خفيش يا عمو خفيش استنى استنى استنى يلا حبيبتي ادخل ادخل اجري اجري اجري جوا جوا جوا تعال تعال خليك ليش حبيبتي ادخلي يلا يا عمو يلا يلا حبيبتي يلا جوا جوا يا اختي جوا جوا جوا يلا يلا يا حبيبتي هيا معاك روح يلا يا امه يلا يلا يلا هاي البنت دخلت جوا حبيبي يلا تعال الله يهدي رجلي اجري اجري يلا جوا
يلا
Yo, you see how them people living. And while it's on my mind, the thing about the Arabs, actually all people on the face of the earth, they believe in something and they have laws. And one of the things I've noticed the last 3 weeks in watching all of this, you constantly see the Arabs, even when they get destroyed, they still say all praise to Allah. You know what I'm saying? They still gonna put everything on God. Them damn devils that's dropping them bombs that's supposed to be the children of God don't never mention God. Never. This whole time, they ain't mentioned nothing about God. Because they don't have nothing to do with him. They're the most evil people on the face of this earth. I don't care what nobody say.
It's in the
Who can sit back and do this? I'm telling you, they kill Palestinians every single day. And then they sit there and be safe. Oh, they at ease. Right. Matter of fact, play that. You got this happening to them people. This is horrible. Even though it's their punishment, it's still horrible to go through this. And look at what these devils do. They got the Iron Dome, see? They got protection.
So inhumane. You don't even look at these people like granted, we don't get along with everybody, but they did taking the whole humanity out of the situation where you can mock people and children for being in that style. You're not mocking the military people who chose to fight, things like that. These are innocent people, and people are mocking them.
Yeah, it's very just there's a lot. There's so much going on. We could be here for hours and hours and hours on the things that they're doing and they're saying. That there's nothing godly about them. You do have some that have respect, but no, these people, man, there's a reason why the Lord said He hates Esau. He told us from the beginning about Amalek. He's going to be at war with them from generation to generation. But He's going to wipe them off the planet. You know what I'm saying? You got to think about it. Why is it God saying, and He the most patient thing ever, why is He saying they have to be wiped off the face of the earth? And not just let them die out. He said they got to be slaughtered. They got to be put to death by the sword. Like, why is it, Lord? Why is He saying that? All right, where was we at? Second Esdras. Second Esdras 13 and 33.
The book of Second Esdras, chapter 13 and verse 33. And when all the people hear His voice, every man shall in their own land leave the battle they have one against another. And an innumerable multitude shall be gathered together as thou sawest them, willing to come and to overcome him by fighting. But he shall stand upon the top of Mount Zion, and Zion shall come and shall be showed to all men.
Hold on, where you at?
Verse 36.
Yeah, finish 36, and we're gonna have to jump somewhere else.
And Zion shall come and shall be showed unto all men, being prepared and builded, like as thou sawest the hill graven with thy hands.
All right, give me Zechariah 14, because this is saying nothing different from the prophets or the New Testament. He gonna stand upon Mount Zion. Up in verse 32, my son shall be declared. Then it said he gonna stand upon Mount Zion. Read that, Zechariah 14 and 1.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 14 and verse 1. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, and thy spoil shall be divided in the midst of thee. For I will gather all nations against Jerusalem to battle. And the city shall be taken, and the houses rifled.
They don't realize that that's coming. Where are we? We still in the land of our captivity. But them folks done appointed the land to themselves. They don't understand what's coming. Yes, sir. Damn. Go ahead.
And the women ravished, and half of the city shall go forth into captivity. And the residue of the people shall not be cut off from the city. Then shall the Lord go forth and fight against those nations, as when he fought in the day of battle.
Mm-hmm.
And his feet shall stand in that day upon the Mount of Olives, which is before Jerusalem on the east.
Right, that's what we was reading. His feet. He'll be shown to all men. Go ahead.
And the Mount of Olives shall cleave in the midst thereof toward the east, toward the west. And there shall be a very great valley, and half of the mountain shall remove toward the north, and half of it toward the south.
When he set his foot down, it's going to split in half. Now, back to Second Esdras. All of this, you got to look at all the prophecies and mesh them together, and you get the big picture. That's why everybody's, man, as soon as this stuff started happening, big time in Gaza, everybody just immediately, wait a minute, go to them prophecies in Amos and Zechariah and other, and Joel, all of them saying the same thing. You'll notice that the prophets from a time period is given a spirit, and they all speaking the same thing.
The book of Second Esdras, chapter 13 and verse 37. And this, my son, shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations, which for their wicked life are fallen into the tempest.
Wait a minute. So, and this, my son, we know it's talking about Christ. We just went to Zechariah. And it said, and this, my son, shall rebuke the wicked inventions of those nations. One of the wicked inventions is missiles.
You remember what they say? They blame it on the aliens or something like that when that guy was reporting. He said that all their nuclear buttons and everything had been disabled. And
Yeah, they even got video footage of a chariot going around a missile and disabling
it. Yeah. Verse 38, and shall lay before them their evil thoughts, and the torments wherewith they shall begin to be tormented, which are like unto a flame. And he shall destroy them with labor by the law, which is like unto fire.
Without labor.
Or without labor, excuse me.
He going to destroy him by his mouth. His words is going to destroy him. All you got to do is get a word. Go ahead.
Whereas thou sawest that he gathered another peaceable multitude unto him. Those are the 10 tribes which were carried away prisoners out of their own land in the time of Hosea, the king, whom Salmanassar, the king of Assyria, led away captive. And he carried them over the waters, and so came they into another land.
Right. Jump to verse 48.
Verse 48. But those that be left behind of thy people are they that are found within my borders. Now when he destroyeth the multitude of the nations that are gathered together, he shall defend his people that remain.
Right. So hold on right here. So we got, 2 or 3 videos. The sea and the waves. Matter of fact, before we read that, give me Luke 21 and verse 25. The sea and the waves. Understand, because like we were saying, that the sea is the multitudes of the people. And if you're not applying commandments, then you're going to cause the people to do uproars and rebellions. The spirit is not made that way to just sit there and just keep taking oppression over and over and over. It's not. Any animal, any little creature, you back it up, keep backing it up into the corner, it's going to bite you. It's going to try to kill you.
The book of Luke, chapter 21 and verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity.
That sign in the sun and the moon is in the wisdom and the understanding that he gave us. We're the stars. It's written what's going to happen. Go ahead.
The sea and the waves roaring.
The sea and the waves roaring. Go ahead.
Men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth.
Right. The sea and the waves roaring is the people. It's the people.
For the powers of heaven shall be shaken.
Right, the power of the governments gonna be shaken. Now give me them 2 videos. These people are coming together. Like when in Obadiah, an ambassador is sent to the nations to tell them to rise up against Edom. All these prophecies coming to pass. They are stirring up these folks, the Arabs and people in Islam. We run both of them.
Palestine! Free, free Palestine!
We were here to protest in front of the embassy of Israel and against the genocide that they are conducting. We are being detained.
हम लोग यहाँ पर कैसे शांतिपूर्वक प्रदर्शन के लिए आए थे तुम संघर्ष करो हम तुम्हारे साथ हैं नेतन्याहू डाउन डाउन हम तुम्हारे साथ हैं हम तुम्हारे साथ हैं Free Palestine
İşte dünya mazlumlarının umudu, dünya beşten büyüktür diyerek mazlumların sesi olan Cumhurbaşkanımız Recep Tayyip Erdoğan.
Gergin uykulardan, kör gecelerden bir sabah gelecek kardan aydınlık. Gergin uykulardan, kör gecelerden bir sabah gelecek kardan aydınlık. Sonra düğüm düğüm bilmecelerden bir sabah gelecek kardan aydınlık. Sonra düğüm düğüm bilmecelerden bir sabah gelecek kardan aydınlık.
So that's the Turkish President Erdogan, and they're having a march for supporting Palestine. Can you get Americans to come together with the president here in support of anything like that? Those people coming together, they all coming together. The Lord is drawing them together. He's giving them a reason to fight and sucking them right on in. Back to 2nd Esdras. I was thinking about another scripture too. I just can't remember where it's at. It said all the people of the earth gonna be against Israel. Where we at?
The book of 2nd Esdras, chapter 13. I'm going to read 49 again.
Yeah.
Now when he destroyeth the multitude of the nations that are gathered together, he shall defend his people that remain. And then shall he show them great wonders. Then said I, O Lord, that bearest rule, show me this. Wherefore have I seen the man coming up from the midst of the sea? And he said unto me, like as thou canst neither seek out nor know the things that are in the deep of the sea, even so can no man upon earth see my son.
See my who?
See my son.
Go ahead.
Or those that be with him, but in the daytime.
Yeah, when that time come. Go ahead.
This is the interpretation of the dream which thou sawest, and whereby thou only art here lightened. For thou hast forsaken thine own way.
Stop, man. We should have read this to that sister earlier. He's saying because you have forsaken your own way and going after the Lord.
And applied thy diligence unto the law and sought it. Unto my law.
Yeah, unto my law and sought it. That's our people need to attain to this. Put everything of ours aside. That's like Paul is saying the same thing when he said, I die daily, or when this is your reasonable service. Sacrifice yourself. This is your reasonable service. That's what he's talking about. Do everything for the Lord. The Lord created you, and he created you to do something in particular. You need to do it. And he's giving you mercy, giving you mercy to do it right so you can live forever. Call it, read it.
The book of 2 Esdras, chapter 13 and verse 55. Thy life hast thou ordered in wisdom, and hast called understanding thy mother. Excuse me. And therefore have I showed thee the treasures of the highest. After other 3 days I will speak other things unto thee, and declare unto thee mighty and wondrous things. Then went I forth into the field, giving praise and thanks greatly unto the Most High, because of his wonders, which he did in time. And because he governeth the same, and such thing as fall in their seasons, and there I sat 3 days.
Right, so one more time. Last verse, 2 Esdras 11 and 1. It's the title of the class. We talking about the same thing we was talking about last week. The Lord, there is so many prophecies on this man. And our people still can't see it, man.
The book of 2 Esdras, chapter 11 and verse 1. Then saw I a dream, and behold, there came up from the sea an eagle, which had 12 feathered wings and 3 heads.
So from out of the multitude of the peoples came this one nation of people, and they ruled over the earth with much wicked oppression. And the Lord is giving you the chance to see it in real time today. You can see what they're doing. They are the ones making fire come from heaven. All right, that's going to do it for today's class. The eagle rose out of the sea. Lord's will, brothers and sisters, learn from this, and main thing, gird yourselves up, because at some point they're going to turn their focus on us, and they're going to kill some of us. So gird yourselves up. Be prepared. Like we read, let's hit it again. This is going to be our closing scripture. Revelation 12 and verse 17. That's why you got to gird yourself. Your mind has to be strong. Go ahead.
The book of Revelation, chapter 12 and verse 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed.
Right, so the dragon is Satan, and his people are the eagle or the fourth beast. So the dragon was wroth with the woman,
and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God, and have the testimony of Jesus Christ.
Right, those that are left behind to prove themselves. With that, we're going to call it. I'm Brother Jacob.
Brother Roy.
With that, we say shalom.
Shalom.